Mayweather and Pacquiao. Let's talk about that right now, and let's bring in Ryan Songalia from Ring Magazine, a reporter for Ring Magazine. He's also a member of the Boxing Writers Association of America. Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, are you in Vegas right now? Are you along the Strip this week already?
Yes, I am. I just arrived yesterday.
All right, are you starting to feel the excitement? Are people starting to come in for this thing? Is it getting crowded?
I think by later today or tomorrow, when Manny Pacquiao arrives, he's finishing up one final training session at the Wild Card Gym in Los Angeles. Then he's going to take his caravan down here to Las Vegas. I think that's when the real party's going to start.
Well, yeah, it's probably going to be, wouldn't you agree, like a Super Bowl where as the week goes on, it gets more crowded, more excitement, more rather than this is Monday.
Yeah, 15,000 seats in the place, and there
I
are
don't
going to be
think
probably
people are going to take a week off.
People there.
Yeah, people are going. Normal people are going to take a week off to go to Vegas and hang out.
This is boxing. There's nothing normal about it.
Yeah, there's nothing normal about boxing. You have some really dedicated fans, especially when it comes to a Pacquiao and Mayweather fight. I haven't seen as many of the TMT Mayweather hats or Pacquiao shirts. A couple here and there, but I expect by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that the whole strip is going to be completely invaded. It's going to be Mayweather mania.
About how many people are going to be there this week, Ryan?
There are some estimates. It's hard to say really, but I know that it's going to be tough for a lot of the fans because the tickets were not really available to the fans. I think only 500 were released to the public at face value. The rest are on the secondary market, marked up 2, 3, 4 times as much. So some people may have been turned off by that. But I know that there'll be a lot of parties here. I know that there are some pre-fight parties that are being arranged. There's going to be an arrival party from Pacquiao tomorrow. So I believe that there will be a lot of fans.
Ryan, we're talking about tickets. We're talking about the two camps hating each other. We're talking about the crowds in Las Vegas. The one thing I'm missing here is talking about the actual fight. And you could help us with that. I have not seen, and I read, and I've been around. I've covered 50, 60, 70 major fights in Las Vegas. I don't hear anybody talking about, so Pacquiao's going to fight and try and get inside, and Floyd's going, tell us something about the actual fight. I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying, we got a guy here that knows about boxing. Let's talk about the fight.
Yeah, well, let's talk about boxing because, there are two schools of thought there. Some people feel that Mayweather doesn't do as well with southpaws, that Pacquiao is an aggressive fighter, that he'll come at angles that Mayweather and his aging legs may not be able to defend against. And then the other school of thought is that Pacquiao doesn't do well against counterpunchers. About 4 fights ago, he was knocked out by a fighter named Juan Manuel Marquez, who caught Pacquiao coming in when he was throwing his double jab left hand, timed it perfectly with a straight right hand and knocked him cold. So there was a lot of debate about which style will be more detrimental to the other fighter. I think that that's what makes this fight very interesting, that there is a real chance that either fighter can lose. It's not a gimme. Like, I would say that most of their fights in the last 5, 6 years have been gimmies, that people already knew who was going to win. This is not one of those fights. So and also, you have to look at Mayweather's 38 years old, Pacquiao's 36. Who has the advantage in terms of age? Mayweather is chronologically older, but Pacquiao may be older in the ring. There are so many variables there. That's what makes this fight really interesting to me.
Ryan, I've been reading your stuff in the last week, and you're saying you believe that Mayweather has the home court advantage, home field advantage, if you will. Explain.
Absolutely. Well, I went to MGM Grand yesterday, and first thing you walk in, you look to your left, there's the MGM store, and you have all of Mayweather's attire there. From his biggest fights, of course, the Hatton fight and the Alvarez fight. And then you go inside the store, there's all Money Team apparel. And then there are even 2 shirts that I think were created by Mayweather as a sort of war. He takes the Philippine flag and then he makes the TMT logo with the Philippine flag. And then, of course, there's the one with Mayweather with the Philippine flag colors over him. It's almost like he's saying, well, I'm going to take away your nationalistic edge. The people aren't really behind you. They could be behind me. And then you walk around. You really feel that the MGM is that there is a Mayweather favoritism there.
Well, I wanted to follow up on that. Given the state of the ticket thing, and here I said we're talking about tickets, but Do you really believe? And Pacquiao has been a really fan favorite throughout his career, and Mayweather's sort of the guy in the black hat to a lot of people. I mean, are you telling us that you think Mayweather will have the stronger following in the actual arena?
That was actually a big, just talking about tickets. A big part of the disagreement with Bob Arum and Mayweather Promotions, because they were arguing that they weren't getting their share of tickets.
Yeah.
That MGM had conspired to withhold 2,000 tickets from Top Rank, so that Mayweather and his camp could do with whatever they wanted with those. So there was that disagreement. But I would say that if you look at Mayweather's gates, he has 4 of the 5 top highest grossing gates in Las Vegas history. Pacquiao, I think, had number 6, and I think he had number 9 with De La Hoya. So Mayweather, at the end of the day, they call him money for a reason. He really has brought in a lot of the money in Las Vegas boxing.
I have a feeling, and obviously you're a lot closer, but I think there's going to be a feeling out period in this fight. For when you have the heavyweights, you really do have that because they can't last 12, 15 rounds at a high pace. But do you expect? I won't ask you. You can answer the question with who you think is going to win. But who do you think it's going to start slowly or going to start fast? And who's going to become the aggressor, the faster?
It's pretty interesting because Mayweather, whenever he fights southpaws, he will actually become more of an aggressor, because when you go backwards, it's harder to see the punches coming from that angle. But I do absolutely think that there will be a feeling out process. I think that there'll be so much nervous energy in both of them that neither wants to make a mistake, neither wants to be the guy who gets hit with the first punch. Because when there's that kind of pressure, your legs do funny things. You don't know what's going to happen. When you get landed on with that first punch, then you become a little bit more relaxed. You're like, okay, I know that one punch isn't going to kill me. But I think that absolutely, we have 2 guys where Pacquiao is southpaw, and it takes him a little bit of time to find his rhythm. And with Mayweather, he doesn't really like to fight southpaws. A lot of his biggest weapons will be taken away from him, like maybe the jab to the body. It's harder to land when a guy's right hand is in front, and the openings aren't there the way that they are for an orthodox fighter. So I absolutely think that there will be a few tentative moments, especially in the early rounds. But once they pick up, they're gonna be rocking and rolling.
Who is going to win?
Yeah, what's the best bet on the board, Ryan?
That's a tough question, because it all depends on who's able to really take advantage of what their strengths are. I really wouldn't know until the first or second round, until I get that feeling. But I would say right now, if you're going to look at who's been more reliable, you have to go with Mayweather, because Mayweather has fought a lot of fighters. He's picked his moments, and he's a smart guy, because he never goes into a fight under circumstances that he doesn't feel he can win. Now, that could be a gambler's mentality, where I like the odds here, I'm going to take this gamble here. But every gambler makes his mistakes. Pacquiao has always been the guy that people felt had the best opportunity of beating Floyd Mayweather Jr., and that you can't discount his chances either.
A lot of people in this country would like to see a senator knocked out, so that's another aspect of it. How do people follow you this week? How do they keep up with what you're writing this week?
Well, I'm writing for Rappler.com in the Philippines, but you can follow me on Twitter at Ryan Songalia. But I just want to say I respect both of you guys a great deal. Woody, of course, when I was in college, my journalism professor, used to always tell me to read your columns. He would send me links and emails, and when I got the message yesterday to be on the show, I was greatly honored, and I'm pleased to be speaking with both of you gentlemen.
Well, I hope you'll join us after the fight next week, and we kind of recount it, but we appreciate those words. But you've been great. I hope you'll come join us on a regular basis.
Thanks,
absolutely,
Ryan.
anytime. Take care, gentlemen.
Ryan Songalia, he is with Ring Magazine, and hopefully we'll talk to him again next week. He's great.
I guess it is.